The big twist for Bachelor in Paradise is coming up, and of course there's a whole bunch more drama to boot. So what can we expect next week when things shift from Love Island mode to Survivor mode? Plus, who's looking to get their fire snuffed out from Jesse Probst in the first ever Bachelor in Paradise Tribal Council? Which I'm only 90% kidding about. Well, let's take a look at this preview and see what we can sleuth out, and as per usual, please, no posting any outright spoilers in the comment section below unless you can back it up with sleuthing from the previews, and a link to the full preview is in the description.
This year, we're raising the stakes. The strongest and the most deserving couples are going to be faced with a life-changing opportunity. The possibility of leaving paradise with $500,000.
So the big change up for this season is the promise of a $500,000, something that was teased in the sort of mid-season preview from the other week, and what's not mentioned in this preview is that after the next rose ceremony, it's the end of the line for new arrivals. From here on in, the focus is going to be on maintaining and building up the already established couples, and the ultimate incentive for that is going to be this cash prize. Now, the full details remain to be seen, but based off what Jesse said in the previous preview, this is harkening back to Bachelor Pad. So if the rules for who receives the $500K is the same as that show, it's gonna work like this. Whoever's at the end, be it 4 couples or 3 or 2, whatever, those couples will be voted on by the other contestants to get the money, which adds in a bit of a social survivor element. Yeah, you could go about the next few weeks trying to backstab and sabotage the other couples to get yourself ahead, but that could then mean that no one wants to vote for you in the end. And when an ultimate winner is selected, the show will introduce the prisoner's dilemma, where the final couple must decide to either split the money or steal it. If you split it, they both get $250K and ride off into the sunset, but if one person chooses to split and the other chooses to steal, the stealer gets all the cash and the other person leaves empty-handed. And of course, you can also have the rule that if both steal, both get nothing. However, this is only how it could work if the show was copying Bachelor Pad, and this is also a Love Island thing, but the viewers vote. And I for one am kind of hoping that there's an additional twist or new element here, as otherwise it's pretty predictable on what's going to happen. Nowadays, with the greater prize in all of these shows being the potential for a huge social media following, it's a major risk to pull a stunt like stealing the money, and there's almost no downside to sharing. I mean, yeah, there is a downside, you lose the money, but think of it like this. Pick share and you walk away with a relationship and $250K, or you get your heart broken and lose the money, which sucks big time, but you gain tons of sympathy and followers. But again, since the idea is just a complete copy of stuff this franchise and other shows have done before, I'm hoping for an additional bit of spice being added. But we'll see. So let's now move into the rest of this preview and see what the fallout from this announcement is going to be.
God!
This changes the game completely. There's money involved. It could corrupt some of the relationships. I'm excited to see the phony ones start ripping apart at the seams.
Okay, so one thing that seems to be remaining in this new transition are the date cards. Perhaps with these new challenges or chemistry tests or whatever they want to call them, the winners will get date cards while the losers get, and this was something Jesse mentioned in the last preview,
Sometimes there'll be winners,
You're doing great. You're doing great.
and sometimes there will be losers that won't have any roses to hand out.
Now, as Alicia mentions in this preview, this twist could corrupt some of the relationships, or even just some of the other contestants as they work to tear other couples apart. And Alicia might even be one of those people based off of this moment from a previous preview.
Pat's plan was never to find love. You said that this was going to be something for your career and you're here to stir up drama, and I have the receipts.
Folks, a round of applause for the Emmy Award-winning actress.
But one thing that does seem to happen next week, whether received from a challenge or somewhere else, is that Bailey and Jeremy are getting a date. And while things look all perfect and wonderful right now, there's a storm brewing ahead for them, which we'll get to as this preview moves along. But for now, take note of this shot with Bailey in tears hugging, I think this is Leslie, as it appears to be at a rose ceremony, and note that Bailey's outfit here is not the same one she's wearing in this shot of the rose ceremony to start next week. But let's continue.
There's like a smothering aspect to it, and I think we should stop talking about it.
I don't want to keep forcing something. Like, what did I do? Do you have a romantic connection with someone else here?
Alright, now this definitely looks to be drama from the next episode. Brian and Parisa continue to crumble apart, and even if these two recover from this and move forward, which they will, there's plenty of Brian still in the previews, I don't know if this couple has much of a shelf life. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I'm not expecting $250K to enter any of their bank accounts anytime soon. And as for this shot, with Leia asking Jonathan whether or not he has feelings for someone else there, I imagine she's talking about Kat, considering how often Jonathan comes in and tells Kat stuff about Dale.
Jonathan is telling people one thing and telling Leia another. Go figure.
I love Bailey. I think the world of her. I really do.
She's an empathetic person.
She's empathetic. I know you're a cold. I know that you're not with Bailey for the right reasons. I can turn this upside down tonight.
Now, I might not be the biggest Brian fan, but I will applaud him for this Jeremy Bailey situation, cause as he talked about last episode, it's completely gross how Jeremy's been covering up his mic and saying he wishes he gave Susie that rose, and if Susie came back, he'd drop Bailey in no time flat. Also, pretty bold to assume that if Susie came back, she would even want Jeremy. And Jeremy has told Bailey nothing about his secret call to Susie. He's just stringing her along. And based off a myriad of preview shots, this relationship is, no surprise, heading for doom. Now, I'm gonna go into pure speculation mode here, but I wonder if something that pushes this for Brian is Jeremy and Bailey winning the next challenge. The first one of the new Survivor era of this season. Because it would make sense that the reward for winning one of these challenges is a date, and there the two are on a date, with fireworks at the end. A classic Bachelor date situation. But then there's this shot, and I'm super curious to see if the other reward for winning a challenge is the ability to send another couple home. Now at first you might think that this crying shot is maybe Bailey going home or learning at the rose ceremony all that Jeremy-Susie stuff, but there's at least a couple of challenges still to come with Bailey in them based on the season preview. However, if what Jesse said is true, losers won't have any roses to hand out, what if that just means they're going to be vulnerable as they can't give a rose out to their partner? And the winner of the challenge decides who's going to be going home that week. And in this moment, what if that couple is Leslie and Gary, with Bailey casting that vote? Now, it is possible that Bailey is just the final vote, or this is simply a goodbye embrace. Again, I'm in speculation mode, and we'll get the full details as the episodes come. This also doesn't have to be something we see at the next rose ceremony. I mean the one after the one that's going to start the following episode. Like, yes, there's really only one shot of Gary and Leslie in a challenge from the previews, and they seem to be missing from the other challenges, unlike fellow golden couple Keith and Kathy, who are in multiple shots, but at least there's more footage of them than Captain Kim and Faith. So I'd actually wager that these two are more likely to be heading home first over Leslie and Gary. But then again, who's to say that two couples aren't going home in the first post-twist rose ceremony? Oh, and if you're sitting here wondering, wait a minute, what happened to the rose ceremony still to come? Aren't we getting ahead of ourselves? Well, feel free to check out last week's mid-season-ish preview breakdown for the sleuthing on why Natasha, Nancy, and April are the ones going home there. But alright, let's now finish this preview off.
I don't know if Jess and I are in the best position. We have the strongest relationship here in Paradise. People might want to get rid of us.
And then he wants to act like Mr. Nice Guy.
And there you have it. The preview ends on drama brewing with super solid couple Jess and Spencer that I think is actually a fake out. We know these two are going to be super happy later on, and I've pegged them for winning this whole thing and splitting that $500K or whatever they have to do at the end. Also, Jess here could be talking about anyone with that Mr. Nice Guy comment. Doesn't have to be Spencer. So, to sum up, for next week we'll be seeing the rose ceremony where Natasha, Nancy, and April are going, then there's this twist, and chaos will ensue, but no matter the fake out, I still think everything is pointing to a happy ending with Spencer and Jess. So that's it for this preview breakdown for week 5 of Bachelor in Paradise. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe to the channel for more content. And until next time, Bachelor Fantake out.
With $500,000.
Oh my God!